Talking Silver Valley metals today. Silver Valley trades as SILV, Toronto Venture Exchange in Canada. Call sign SVMFF OTCQB in the States. I've got Brandon Rook, the CEO. Brandon, it's been quite a while since we've connected. A lot has happened, so I guess probably the best place to start here is this last significant piece of news you had here, announced the discovery of some mineralized vein structures at surface extending Crown Point. So, yeah, I guess probably the best place to start is right there, huh?
Yeah, so that's kind of like, so from 2022, the exploration program, we were able to really kind of hone in on, well, I mean, we've got 7 or 8 significant large targets, defined, just methodically in 2022, going through the whole project, looking at this as a whole. We've got all the underground data, we've got a lot of historical data, but this project was owned by 6-7 different parties over the last 100 years, I guess, and this being shut down for the last 40 years because of extenuating circumstances. So this project was never put together as a whole, such as our neighbor, Bunker Hill, which is one of the largest underground mines in America and most iconic, really. The mineralization just continues right to our, it doesn't stop on the boundary. But the uniqueness, I guess, or the opportunity for Silver Valley here was to consolidate this entire 3-4 kilometer strike length from Bunker Hill, what we call to the end of the Silver Valley. And we call it the end of the Silver Valley because this is where the good rocks get faulted off. And at the end, which is the western end, that's where the Page mine sits. And that's what we also own, right? And that's a top 10 past producer in the Silver Valley, operated by ASARCO, which was a mining major as well. But that shut down in the 1970s. So because of the environmental challenges or issues, and the EIA and the Superfund site came in, but everything got cleaned up, and we were able to come in, a few years ago, really started 2022 doing exploration for the first time, putting all this together, and then looking at this as a whole, right? So there's 6 historical mines on this property, 4 of which are only 200 feet deep, really haven't been developed because they were kind of run by mom and pop operations as well. They were coming up against boundaries for their neighbor, 200 meters to this side, boom, there's another guy, I got to stop mining here, right? So we've been able to kind of look at this as a whole, since, and then 2022, just last year, got on the project and did some really good work, and the work has really kind of shown us really honed in on these targets, whether it be up plunge on these historical mines, because some of these started deep down in the valley floor, and we have mountains so you see the up plunge coming on that. Whether it be, a long strike that they couldn't explore for, and new areas that we've targeted now, from geochem sampling, geophysics, structural mapping, and then the underground data kind of leads us there as well. So now what we're doing at this point in this summer, as a follow-up to last year in preparation to drill, is we're going in there and we're doing 24 hours a day trenching right now. And what we're trying to do is expose these vein structures that we've identified, from last year's work, where we think this all is. And if we're able to identify these at surface, plus all the other exploration work, plus all the underground data, and looking at this as a bigger project, I think we're going to have a pretty accurate, it's what I hope for, a drill program later this year. So it's pretty exciting. It's really exciting. We're in mineralization. We know we got mines. We've also got a really good, foundation for this company, in that we've got the Page mine that is fully developed at depth. We have all the ASARCO, work. And there's like 750 meter strike length at the bottom of the mine right now with a grading 16% base metals and 3-4 ounce silver. That's at the page. Then we have another mine called the Blackhawk mine, which is 700 meters away, connected underground too, right? Like the Blackhawk at the 1,200 foot level, it's connected to the page, because the Blackhawk at one point was a lease mine. That was owned by some businessmen way back when, and they were not miners. So they leased this to a Sarco at the Page mine to optimize their mill and so on for the ore. So we have the Blackhawk sitting there. They stopped mining the Blackhawk because the Page ended up becoming a bigger mine, and they optimized their processing plant, and they didn't need the ore from Blackhawk. So the only reason why the Blackhawk stopped was because Sarco canceled the contract. So that's just sat since, right? So 700 meters away, the Blackhawk's a lot shallower. It's about 370 meters below surface. And that's got about a 375 meter strike length at the bottom of the mine. And that also grades really well. More base metals, a little less silver. So look, those are kind of like our foundational pieces on the project. We can say we got that. We can develop that. Now, what we're looking for is shallow, mineralization that's maybe a little higher up in the horizon, so to speak, right? So mineralization, if we can kind of put this all together, now we're looking at a massive project where we know we have deep mineralization that's super high grade. We've got kind of mid-tier type mineralization, and now we're going after the higher parts. Whether the Blackhawk has got up plunge potential, and we got stuff in between. And also what we're really excited about and what we just put out just recently, like 3 weeks ago as a follow-up, like we're saying now we're trenching on the project. We've exposed the Crown Point mine, which is on the boundary with Bunker Hill. And that's our silver rich historical mine. It's grading around 600 grams per ton silver equivalent. But that was never developed. That was only developed to a few hundred feet below elevation. And what we've been able to say now, just with this follow-up exploration, and we're continuing like right now, there'll be more press releases coming for these other targets with the trenching. We've discovered the vein structures on surface. And that's pretty significant also in the Silver Valley. It's somewhat unique. And these are mineralized, they're leached out on the surface, but they're in place. And this is what we can expect is that you'll see, the mineralization will be not as strong on surface, but to see the structures, we've been able to put them together where we know the trend, we know the strike, we know the dip. So I think we can target the Crown Point pretty easily here moving forward in the drilling, right? So what was really exciting about that, and this is what I was alluding to before, was the when they were mining the Crown Point, again, the boundaries are kind of in small, there's a bunch of neighbors, right? So we're able to find these vein structures 220 meters to the west, that we know it's the Crown Point. That was outside of their property boundaries at the time. So that's exciting, right? So that's where we're at with the Silver Valley project right now. Yeah. So it's still intro days too, Rob. It's again, like we just been kind of doing the laying down the groundwork, doing the hard work, the fun work, but the hard work. And now the exciting work is coming here, especially for the shareholders.
Yeah, lots happened in a couple of years since we saw each other at the first Silver Symposium. I'll look forward to having you back here, hopefully. So wow. Couple things strike me here. Obviously, being at the edge of Bunker Hill, we're already in the silver capital of, one of the silver capitals of the world, certainly United States.
Absolutely.
And yeah, no one really knows at depth what's going on. There's a lot of silver around these hills. So
Yeah.
from having an option on or a percentage of to now where you've advanced the project here. Yeah, you mentioned the shareholders. Let's talk about the shareholders here. We're hunting hidden treasure for them here. They're hunting with you in the stock. So you had David Morgan to cite. I'm sorry I missed that visit. I'll definitely get on that, and we'll like to put an episode together at some point here highlighting this work. So yeah, let's carve out a message here for fellow treasure hunter investors / fans of Silver Valley Metals. David Morgan had some very kind words for you. So yeah, talk about how investors are going to make money with you, Brandon.
Well, I think you look. I mean, where we're situated right now in the market and in the valuation, this is where all the founders have put their money. We've just been kind of right now. I mean, like I said, at this valuation and what we have as a foundation in this company, whether it be the Page mine, the Blackhawk mine, the Mexico project that we're not talking about right now, but again, that's more value. There's a heck of a lot more value there. And like the Crown Point discovery we're just making now. Being located, we have a huge opportunity to really build an inventory of silver ounces here very quickly. We just, we have it in a historical basis. We're going to find new ounces here. We're going to find, and this is coming. This is coming this year. That's the goal. And and what's going on in the Silver Valley is exciting right now. Bunker Hill just recently got fully financed to go back to production. They're building a big processing plant within a kilometer of our project. Same rock, same everything, So, the market sees a lot of potential there at the bunker. You go next door and you got the Sunshine Mine. And I know there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes right now there. They've got they're probably well over 300 million silver ounces right now of defined. That's 300 million ounces of silver. That's 6 kilometers away from our project. You've got, just a little further down the road, you got America's Gold and Silver and the Galena complex, and that's really come back just recently into production. That's exciting as well. So the whole
Lucky Friday and the Lucky Friday rolls on.
Lucky Fridays hasn't stopped for 100 years. Look, I mean, I see a kind of a whole revival happening here in the Silver Valley, and where we are on the western end. And being a junior company, again, but the shareholders, there's no junior company that's got a foothold in this specific Silver Valley that we're talking about, right? That's our land position, the real estate we own here is significant, So I think with a lot of things upcoming as well, there's going to be more attention on this place, and hopefully we're going to be doing, putting the spotlight on it as well.
Yeah, I think the market's created an opportunity for anyone who does want to treasure hunt with you to do it for a very low risk.
Yes.
So, well, Brandon, we appreciate you taking the time here. And,
thanks, Rob.
That update. Fantastic update. We'll look forward to keeping our eye on the wire as you hit the wire again. There was some more news. But Brandon Rook is the head treasure hunter CEO over at Silver Valley Metals. Their call sign is SILV on the venture, and SVMFF on the OTCQB in the States. Brandon, fantastic update. Best of luck here, and we'll certainly be in touch.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time.